Here is a list of equipment needed for a full O-ring kit replacement. We recommend purchasing genuine Tackwise parts to avoid tool malfunction. Always ensure you take the necessary safety precautions before starting. We recommend wearing safety goggles, gloves, and facing the tool away from your face at all times. Always ensure your tool is disconnected from the airline before starting. To begin, use the 5mm Allen key to loosen the 4 screws on the cylinder cap. Safely store the screws in a small dish to one side. To remove the head valve from the cylinder cap, use the Allen key to loosen the screw which secures the exhaust cover, seal and muffler. Use a punch and hammer to remove the head valve, valve seat and spring from the cylinder cap. Use the hook or chosen tool to remove the O-rings from the head valve one at a time. Match with the correct size and replace, ensuring each new O-ring is correctly placed into position. Take care not to damage the O-rings here. If damaged, do not use as this may cause the tool to malfunction. Place the old O-rings to the side of your workstation to ensure they do not get mixed up with the new O-rings. Lightly oil and reassemble the head valve. Remove the collar and cylinder seal. Remove the cylinder, piston assembly and restrictive plate. Use the hook to remove the O-rings from the restrictive plate one at a time. Match with the correct size and replace all the O-rings. Remove the piston assembly from the cylinder and use your hook or chosen tool to remove the O-rings on the cylinder one at a time. Match with the correct size and replace all the O-rings. Use the hook or chosen tool to remove the O-ring from the piston assembly. Match with the correct size and replace the O-ring. Lightly oil the piston assembly and carefully guide into the cylinder. Lightly oil the cylinder. Click the restrictive plate into position, ensuring the flat side is facing upwards. Lightly oil. Check the bumper for wear and tear. If damaged, replace with a new one before reassembling. Carefully guide the cylinder back into the main body of the tool and click into position. Reassemble the cylinder seal and collar. Position the cylinder cap back onto the tool. Use the Allen key to tighten each of the 4 screws a little at a time, ensuring each screw is evenly fastened. Reassemble the muffler, seal and exhaust cover and secure the screw using the Allen key. Use the 5mm Allen key to loosen the screws on the cylinder cap. Safely store the screws in a small dish to one side. Remove the cylinder cap. Remove the cylinder, collar, piston assembly, cylinder seal and bumper. Place these safely to the side of your workspace. To access the trigger, turn the tool on its side and use your chosen tool to carefully remove the locking washer and rotating shaft brushing. Store these safely in a dish to the side of your workspace. Remove the rotating shaft pin. Carefully remove the small ball bearing. Remove the trigger assembly and spring. Use your punch and hammer to knock out the 2 spring pins which hold the trigger parts in place. Remove the trigger valve guide, trigger valve stem and small spring. To gain access to the rest of the trigger parts, you'll need to go in through the main body of the tool, as demonstrated. Using your chosen tool, carefully push the trigger valve seat and trigger valve guide downwards. These will release where the trigger usually sits. Remove any O-rings which remain in the trigger area. Carefully remove the O-ring on the trigger valve guide. Match up with the correct size and replace. Lightly oil and reassemble into the tool. Carefully remove the O-rings on the trigger valve seat. Match up with the correct size and replace. Lightly oil. Reassemble by clicking the trigger valve seat into the trigger valve guide. Remove the O-rings on the trigger valve stem. Match up with the correct size and carefully replace. Reassemble the spring and trigger valve stem into the tool. Reassemble the trigger valve guide. Reassemble the two spring pins, ensuring the smallest pin is inserted into the hole closest to the handle. Gently knock into position using your hammer. Reassemble the trigger assembly and spring. Carefully place the small ball bearing back into position and reassemble the rotating shaft pin. Reassemble the rotating shaft brushing and locking washer. Guide the cylinder, piston assembly, cylinder seal and bumper back into the main body of the tool. Reassemble the collar. Reassemble the cylinder cap using the Allen key to fasten the 4 screws a little at a time, ensuring each screw is evenly fastened. Next, to replace the O-rings in the nose piece, remove the protector by loosening the nut with your spanner and 4mm Allen key. Remove the magazine by unscrewing the back bolts. Store the bolts safely in the dish to the side of your workspace. Using the circlip pliers, remove the locking washer and cover, being very careful of the spring behind it. Remove the piston bumper. Remove the washer and pin and store safely in your dish to the side of your workspace. Remove the feed hook and spring. Remove the piston from the nose piece and use your hook to remove the O-rings one at a time. Match with the correct size and carefully replace all the O-rings. Clean the nose piece with a soft rag and reassemble the piston, feed hook and spring. Reassemble the piston bumper and using the circlip pliers, carefully click the cover and locking washer into position. Reassemble the magazine, securing the bolt with your Allen key. Reassemble the protector with the hexagon bolt, ensuring the Allen key head is the protector side of the tool. Gently tighten using your spanner and Allen key.